Hello today, everybody. This is Brent Lane, and this is Smooth Finish. I have my cast characters with me as always, Mr. Chris Marcano. Hello, Chris.
Good day to all. I don't know what time you'll be listening to this, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope everyone out there is doing well and is staying safe in these
A-
taxing times.
And Rob Romano. How we doing, Robbie?
Doing great, doing great. Good to be back. Happy New Year, everyone. Looking real forward to having a good, healthy New Year. And oh my God, how busy are we going to be? So we got some really good, exciting stuff to go over. So good to be back.
Yes, we want to take this show back first one of the year. We really wanted to talk about our 33rd annual conference in Atlanta. We are excited to be back in person. We want to welcome Yvette Gammon. Yvette is our current president of the NPC. She was our president last year. She really kind of helped us and really drove what we ended up doing for the conference last year, which was our virtual. And I know that she's really excited to talk to us today and talk about our conference and what happens at this conference and share a little bit. Yvette has her own company, Gammon Pool Plastering, in the San Diego markets. And Yvette, welcome, and we're so excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, welcome, Yvette.
Hi, thanks for having me on today. I appreciate the chance to sit and talk with you guys. This is a fun cast of characters, and I'm lucky to get to work with you all. It's definitely been a challenging year for all of us, and I'm honored to say that I was able to be your first female chair. Not so much that I became the COVID queen of the last 2 years. So many people out there might not know me because you didn't see me running around at the conference last year. You got a glimpse of my face for about all of 5 minutes as an introduction to our first ever virtual conference, which was successful. And on that note, we will continue to be launching more virtual opportunities for education, which we'll go into a lot more of later. But we did have a successful virtual conference last year. And as successful as it was, the downside is that we didn't all get to be together.
Yep.
And the highlight of our conference has always been and will continue to be our face-to-face time, the time that we get to spend with all of our members, all of us across the country, exchanging ideas and thoughts and just being together. And I know that this year our conference in Atlanta will be even more successful because we will all get to be together again. So kumbaya. Can't wait to see you all back in the same room.
Absolutely, and that's what this conversation, this show's all about, is the 33rd annual NPC conference, and how exciting we are to be part of it. But also, we really wanted to take this time to highlight how special this is always a special event in the industry, and it's well known for 30 plus years now. I mean, there's a reason it's been so well received and anticipated. But I think we alluded to it initially. It's like this comeback, though, it was really felt having to take this virtual, and it was very, very successful. You guys did a great job of making the event still very, very viable and still very enriched and well received. But the beauty of this conference, and I've been to over a dozen of these, the beauty of it is the people. It's the interaction amongst peers, and we're going to go through some things. But yeah, I do want to also say, heavy is the head that has to wear the COVID queen crown. So Yvette, awesome job steering this ship through the rough seas that is these last 18 months. But let's just start, and cover some of the housekeeping here. This is the 33rd annual conference that we're discussing. It's going to be held in Buckhead in Atlanta on February 9th through the 11th. So if you haven't registered yet, please do so. If you haven't attended, listen up, because you need to. I mean, that's just the bottom line. This event is so special and so unique from all the other kind of quote unquote, I'm using the air quotes here for those that are listening, from the other shows that are out there in the industry, which are all fantastic. We're fortunate enough in this industry to have a very good lineup of shows, both sponsored and non-sponsored by different entities. But this one's just different, and it's different for a lot of reasons. It starts off with basically one of the best opening receptions there is, and I can speak from experience again. And Brent and Rob have been there with me, probably to a fault on a few.
Much fun has been had at these
So
events.
the opening reception at these is a sight to be seen. It is a way to kick off a celebration of the industry of professionalism. This year is sponsored by Pool Corp, so I can only imagine. I know when they sponsor things, it's always to the nines, right? So I'm expecting this to see kind of the best of the best of an opening reception. Rob, what was? Is there one that stuck out to you? I always had a great time at the one in Washington D.C. Where they had the live band. That was phenomenal. Singing, dancing.
DC was great. Amelia Island. We've had the most fun in New Orleans. I mean, how can you not go wrong in New Orleans? And my God, you get hooked up with the right group of characters, and that's what these shows are about. You come to the show, you meet people or you reconnect with people that you've met throughout the years. You solidify your relationships, you learn from each other, and you have a great time. I can go back. New Orleans has a fond memories in my heart. Time that we spent with Chris, with Brent, Yvette, the parties that we've gone to, and then that's the fun part. You also have the educational pieces that are there. And I'm going to be, for the first time, teaching a class. I'm really excited about that, and being able to share what I've learned throughout the years with my peers and colleagues, and learn from them at the same time. So it is. The show is always something for me and Linda that we do look forward to. I love the fact that we do, in general, change the venue from year to year. It's a different place. You can get to see what the world's all about. Try the local cuisine. I've never been to Atlanta before this show. It's a lie. We had a brief conference for it, but to actually spend time in Atlanta for a week, that's something new for me. I'm really looking forward to that, to see what that culture is all about. And and to see my colleagues and friends.
I think first of all, I think the big part of the opening reception, it's always that you're seeing these people that you have, you're allied with and that do the same thing you do all year, right? But you're finally seeing them for the first time in almost 2 years. I think that first and foremost is going to be really great. People reconnecting, for sure. Last year we did the casino thing, or last year, sorry.
I know.
When we were in Houston.
Right.
Yeah, it all blurs together.
Not to say it, yeah, well, the memories are good enough. It's like just last year. But we did the casino thing, and it held people, and people had a great time with it, and I think it's just going to be a great environment for people to just really kind of reconnect, have a good time. There's going to be great food going on. I'm sure there's going to be beverages available. And,
we're all adults.
We're all adults. Yep. I just think the fellowship part of this is what's going to be probably what stands out. Not the stuff we're doing in there, but the fact that people are just reconnecting. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think
I do like the casino nights, though. You get to have, it's funny money at that point. It's not your real money, like in Vegas, but you get to splurge a little bit. That is a lot of fun. I'm glad we're doing that again.
Yeah, and it's not, and I can assure you this. It's not done in a hokey way. Like the nine. This is done to the nines for sure. And to that point as well. I'm with you, Brent. I'm really looking forward to the just the overall energy that I'm anticipating from everyone being back, in front of each other, face to face, and I've heard that if we all have good enough of a time and have the right kind of positive energy, that Yvette will actually get up on stage and start singing along with the band potentially. I don't know though. You guys have to do this.
Yeah, there's no promises on that. So I love you all way too much to bust out my singing voice. Now, after enough red wine, I may sing a little bit, but because it'll only be because I'm so excited to see everybody again. It truly is a fun event. There's something to be said about the casino night that brings an energy to the room. It allows everybody an opportunity to really engage, maybe in a group of people that they ordinarily would have sat with, the people that they knew. But there was something about the casino night event that we had previously and the carnival events that we've had in the past that gets people really mixing up who they're sitting with, who they're talking to, where they are in the room. Love the band, don't get me wrong, love the music, but it's nice to be able to hear who you're talking to. I ended up meeting some really cool people that I probably ordinarily wouldn't have sat and chatted with had I not been at a table with them or trying to steal chips from behind them. So the casino night definitely brings an electricity to the room and an opportunity to get to mingle and meet people that you might not have otherwise met.
For sure, for sure. It's going to be a great way to kick off this event. Now, you come for the party, right? You come for the fun, but you stay for the education, right? That is really where, in my opinion, at my first personal experience, my first attendance of this show, I was blown away with the quality of education. I mean, it is undeniably so relevant, so targeted, so on point for this particular area within our industry, this very, very, very specialized, uncertain. I mean, let's just throw it out there. There's so many different questions and issues and things that come up with all the different challenges out there in pool construction and pool finishing, and all of these things and more are really hyper focused on and addressed in the educational tracks that we have going on. And looking over this list of these tracks, I mean, it is just outstanding. You've got our typical day one with the certifications, but then you also have like Chaz from Bud's Pools there in New Jersey, in the Baltimore area, in the Maryland, New Jersey areas, doing a winterization theory class, which we actually had a podcast about that whole thing. He's really going to drill into that. I mean, there's all kinds of fantastic topics that are going to be not just discussed. There's going to be a full-on 360 dive into. Now, the one I'm a little bit concerned about is this Roberto Romano's substrate class. Maybe we can discuss that one real quick. Rob, no, I'm just in all seriousness. Rob is so good at sharing his hands-on knowledge. Rob, what are you going to be discussing in your class?
I'm going to be sharing my hands-on knowledge.
Yes,
that's what I'm going to be doing. Look, my thing is pool prep. Prepping a pool for new plaster, whether it's a new pool or renovation, and I'm going to go over the ins and outs of what we do as a company, what I do, and also what common practices throughout the country. We'll cover bond code application, chipping processes, and then the new pools. How clean you have to be, what tolerances you have with the fittings, etc. Really, it's going to be a good class. And like I said, it's new, so I have a certain perspective from the Northeast, how we do things there. I know in California, they do a lot of things different. And when we put the class together, we drew upon a lot of folks from all over the country. But I'm excited to get the feedback from those that are in the class so we can make it that much better.
For sure.
Yeah, what I like about Robbie's class is it's created ways to be done. We had an agreement. We had tech involved. We made sure we covered all the basic factual information of that class. And there's more to come on those, for sure. I think one in the past is we're actually dedicating, and this kind of is to your detail, Chris. It's so detailed to our group of individuals in our industry. Is we're doing a full day. It's 3 individual classes, but it's really hyper focused on the remodel aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into just like looking at the pool, looking at what's going on before as you're bidding, what you're doing with it, and then just going on from there.
Yeah, and that's just day one, right? That is literally day one. We've got the winterization new theory, around basically a deep dive into common plaster problems in a roundtable format, which I love those when it's not a narrative, right? You're not being spoken to about something. You're part of a discussion because we as human beings just we soak in more information and it sticks when we have that type of format, which I love.
Roundtables are I love them myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're always our most successful classes.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to that venue. It's really got a lot of respectable knowledge that's going to be shared in there. We also have a class just on looking at different exposure and examples from of good, bad, and the ugly, and everything in the middle. So we've got, I promise you this, attendees, really look at the classes, take as many as you can, fill your day, because you will walk away from this schedule of classes enlightened and in a much better spot, in a higher knowledgeable spot than when you went into those. I can assure you of that. Another thing that we'd be remiss if we didn't discuss too. We've got the opening ceremony, which is fantastic. Or the opening. This isn't the Olympics, but it kind of has that feel. Got the opening reception, which, by the way, looking at my notes really quick here, I underlined this and I forgot to mention it early. Are they really having a boxing game at this? Because that could be fun. Let's just say that could end up in a.
It might be the punching bag thing where you try to see how hard you punch it.
I foresee a shoulder getting thrown out. I see tears.
I'll probably get a black eye by the end of that.
So if you're in the casino games or punching a punching bag, you'd be remiss to go there. So we've talked about the opening reception, which is fantastic. The education, it's the justification, right? It's the why, why you go there. There are many reasons, but this is what you take away with you once you've gone to this event. But let's talk about, and please share some stories. Let's talk about the auction. And I know there's a lot of auctions that are out there, but I'm shocked at how this auction is its own event, right? It's its own thing. It is so well attended. The engagement is through the roof, and it's essentially one of the highlights, if not the highlight, for some people that attend this show. Rob, what are some of the items that you have seen, or have you purchased? What have you gotten? What have you seen? Talk to me.
So I'll go over what I've seen. I mean, there's truckloads of material that get auctioned off. There's chemicals, startup chemicals that get auctioned off. There's everything that has to do with plasterboard fittings, what have you, that they auction. And there's also there's stuff for the person that's not necessarily capable of buying a full truckload of material, like eye watches or jewelry or trips and things like that. So funny story that I have is that our good friend Ryan Shilley that got cute one day, I thought to myself, you know what, this eye watch, that's within my price range, a couple of $100, $300. I can do that. It's for a good cause, help the empathy. That's what I can give back. That good friend of mine just kept upping the bid, and I was absolutely challenged, throwing the glove thrown on my face, and I had to meet it, and I ended up paying $550 for a $200 watch, and at that time. So that's my auction story. So a lot of guys have fun just outbidding each other. It is for a good cause. It does help us out tremendously to keep our education rolling and the wheels rolling for for our association.
It sounds like maybe we should move the boxing game into the auction that morning.
It becomes a boxing game for sure.
It does.
For
Yeah.
sure. There's a competitive nature and there's an excitement in the air to start your day too, because it's. I know the first one I went to was in the morning, and it was really strange to me how I guess it was a surprise. I shouldn't say strange, but I was surprised at the amount of the energy that this thing just created. You know, normally you go to an auction at an event, you're like, okay, it's cool, you know, but this really was a sight of its own. It truly was. And I was some of the scope of the things that are actually committed to, you know, I mean, it's a truckload of material, you know. I've seen them go out there, and it's so impressive too, about the camaraderie. You have people splitting things, you have the competitive side, but at the end of the day, it's all for such a good cause. To Rob's point, it doesn't matter.
I gotta say, it's a lot of fun watching Jay be the auctioneer. Jay Eaton, he really has a lot. He has a good time doing it. He's great banter. He's perfect at calling out the right person to get the right material that's perfect for what's good for them. You know, what's really exciting is that his daughter Laura is taking the reins of heading up the committee for the auction, and she has done a great job of collecting a lot, all the items that are up for auction. So, you know, kudos to the Eaton family for really driving home that scenario.
Absolutely. Jay, that's a perfect segue. Jay has done the for as long as I've been a part of it. Jay's been the auctioneer. He has got this fantastic dry sense of humor with an impeccable timing when it comes to you know, placing a zinger right at not only when it needs to be placed, but where it needs to be placed. And he truly works the room. So it's fantastic. And just to remind everyone out there, like this isn't just going to some slush fund, you know, for some organization. The proceeds from this go to 100% go to the scholarship funds, and it does a lot of good for a lot of folks. And that's something that we, you know, should celebrate, is the benevolence of the whole event and how much it actually helps people.
I think it's important to note right there that this year we had 16 scholarship essays or scholarship applications submitted, and that number has continued to grow every year.
Yep.
And we've set a record once again this year for applications, and we will be giving away more money than we have in the past. And that all goes back into our industry, into our families,
yep,
into their children, to helping them further their education, whether it be at you know, college or trade schools. NPC is here to support our members. We're here to support our member families, and to give back and to help everybody. And the scholarship that was put together, the Ray Perales Scholarship Foundation, has been in place for a number of years, and it's run by a great group of people. Andrea Campbell and her team do an excellent job of really supporting the member families, member companies, and their families and their teams, and making this an attainable scholarship for a lot of students that get very frustrated trying to get money. This is an opportunity in our industry that needs to be highlighted, that this exists. We've got a record this year with 16, and you know, I just wanted to kind of drive that point home here.
It's open
about our scholarship.
Yeah, it is. It's open to any NPC member. It's what an amazing, you know, value add benefit there. But again, it's an investment into our own industry, right?
Right, I mean, into our industry, into our families of our employees.
Yep,
absolutely. Yep,
and that's a perfect segue too. I mean, I wanted to talk about what else was new for the show this year, but you know, as an industry, there's a palpable, and it's being called out and it's being identified, but there is essentially a desert right now, or a shortage of you know, young, motivated workers that are getting into the industry. We actually see people leaving it, and we're in a deficit right now. And so the more we can do and the more creative and productive we can be, to get more people involved in this industry aware of it. And it's through the traditional college route as well as through the trade route, which is so underappreciated and so underfunded.
Right.
The better we can do. But one of the things that this organization has done, and unfortunately, Laura Eaton, who Rob mentioned before, who was going to join us on this podcast, she's done an amazing job putting a lot of this together, but she unfortunately is having some voice problems right now. So she's been talking a lot, and her voice is evidently too hoarse to be a part of this discussion. But she has put together, as part of a group, a young professionals new members event at this show. So this is something, as far as I know, this is brand new, right?
This is brand new this year.
Yep.
Correct.
So the idea, the goal behind it is to try to attract young people to the NPC, get involved in the NPC. Like Chris and I are familiar with being recognized as young professionals in the past. But God bless us both. We're aging. We're not the young guys anymore. We need some more 30 and 40-year-olds to get involved. And look, the world is changing. It's evolving, and NPC wants to evolve with it. And we need our young folks to come and help us do that. I know I have my ways of doing things. Chris has his ways. Brent's fast approaching old mandom as himself. So, but we want to. Vet is forever young.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
We want the young folks to come in. We're fun, we're hip, we're cool. Come and hang out with us, and we can.
So, just to that point, for the record, speak for yourself, Roberto. I just turned 40 and it is exciting though to have. I'm looking forward to from the periphery, of course, because I don't qualify for it now. But this event's going to be exciting, especially since it's year one. That's one of those things where this is new. There's no rules, right? Like, let's do this event. Let's see what it can bring, what positivity, what productivity it can bring to the table, and then let's just grab a hold of that and keep going with it. So be a part of that. If you're out there and you're on the fence with this show, not only do I say everyone come, right, but if you have somebody in your organization, if you have somebody that you think could be a part of your business or a part of this industry, and you want to get them involved, it's a small price to pay to attend this event and plug them into this to see how genuinely fun, exciting, rewarding this industry is, but also the opportunity. It's there. If you work hard, if you have a good head on your shoulders, and you've got a good line of sight to goals, you're going to be successful in this industry. And this is a great start, or a great point to start off some folks that are curious and could potentially be, the next big things within our industry. So
we want to make sure that we're recognizing them. We want to make sure that they are our future.
Yes.
And that they are being heard, and that they are becoming a part of our board and our committees, and where we're headed. We're working on the apprenticeship programs, which is bringing in, future employees. But we, as the NPC board and executive committee, we want to make sure that we're recognizing who our body exists of. And this event that Laura is going to be holding, the YoPro event, I believe she's calling it, is going to be a scavenger hunt. And it sounds like a lot of fun. And it will include a lot of activities that will get somebody, really involved in meeting people and doing things that are within their comfort level, but yet get them to get involved in the conference and the board and all of the things that make us who we are and make our event as fun as it is. So I'm really excited about what they're doing, not only with the YoPro group, but I do see our board becoming younger. The faces that are involved are younger. Our board members are the demographic. It is changing. We are changing as a board, and that's something that I'm excited and proud to be a part of that evolution. So I thank you for bringing that point up, and I look forward to meeting all the new faces and being face to face with you all in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It really is. And I'll tell you what, I love the name Yo Pro. This has legs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
You have to hear it, right? Written on a piece of paper. I was looking at my notes, and it just didn't.
Right.
It doesn't do much on paper, but when you hear it, especially if it's said with some excitement, I think that's gonna stick.
I think an overall statement about this show that I just want to say, it's kind of what we're all talking about, you know, and it's in a cliche term as you get out of it what you put into it. And I will say that if you invest your time in this show and in this group of individuals that come together as ENPC, you will reap the rewards. You're just going to get so much information from people. You're going to be able to get education from the show. You're going to be able to, you just get a whole perspective. There's just not much else like it out there that is so dialed in. And I just wanted to say that, and we can move on to the next topic.
Yep. No, it is. It is. It's well worth the time investment. Now, there's also more fun to be had. There's a behind the scenes tour of the world famous Georgia Aquarium as well, which is an amazing aquarium. You get to go behind the scenes. You get to see a lot of how they the water hydraulics and the different tank systems and the
For
system
pool guy
placed there. Absolutely. So as pool people, this is really cool because we understand the concepts, but seeing it in a different application, it is really neat, especially to see the behind the scenes and the automation. I've done some work for a couple of different zoos, and the automation behind the scenes, and kind of when you get to see how the sausage is made behind there, it is amazing. So take advantage of that as well. It will be a learning experience. And then there's my favorite first, where I get a shine, the vendor reception, where we vendors send our best and our brightest to go mingle and have
keep your breast to yourself, Chris.
There's a little slip there.
Did I say breast?
A little slip.
You did.
It must be my new mustache.
What are we talking about?
Now we're the family show there, Chris. Come on.
I'm pretty sure if you look at the disclaimer of this podcast, and it's available on all channels, iTunes, Spotify, I'm pretty sure it's noted to be NC-17. I'm pretty sure. So we're all adults. No, but and also that must be my new facial hair, my mustache. So
you can see he's sporting the best 70s mustache.
Yeah, I invite anybody who's listening right now, check out the YouTube airing of this because you can see this and it's all of its glory. And I don't know. Maybe I'll keep this going to the show. I mean, you tell me. Give us feedback, right? Give us feedback.
Linda will love it.
So yes, the best and brightest is what I meant to say. Is going to be at the vendor reception, where we host a cocktail party for you, the guests. Everybody comes in, we mingle, and there's a lot of innovation that's really gone, unspotlighted because of the constrained times, right? COVID's just a pain in everyone's butt, and it's really, really impacted the face-to-face secret sauce that keeps this industry going, and what's kind of built it when it comes to relationships. And there is a lot of innovation out there that these manufacturers are ready to share to help people overcome a lot of the challenges. And we've basically had this pause put on being able to educate and enhance different professionals out there through innovation because of COVID. So take advantage. Also, be sure to come to the vendor reception and see what's new out there, right? There's all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. So I'd be remiss if I didn't kind of spotlight that one. Well, I think we've covered the events, and I can't stress enough how excited I am to be in beautiful Hotlanta on February 9th to the 11th. If Brent, do you want to tell everyone out there how they can find and basically register now and all the particulars for the show?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest way is go to npconline.org. When you get there, you're going to see banners flashing the show. You're going to be able to go to events and find it, and it will take you right to the links to get yourself and your staff signed up. It'll have hotel links, um, and everything you need to get yourselves to that show and come and hang with us in person. I think that's the exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I'd register. I would register now, sooner than later. Any type of discounting and things like that. Those do have time limits, so be sure and jump on it now. Don't hem and haw. Take advantage.
We still have rooms available in our room block.
Very good. Good to know.
We want to get everybody to get online at the NPC website, get their registration done, and get a hold of the Intercontinental Buckhead and get their rooms reserved as early as possible. So we make sure that you're staying at the hotel, because that's where all the fun's going to be. We're all going to be there hanging out. So
I'm just hoping to get some golf in over there. That's the way to go.
Well, if you're a golfer, evidently Rob is hosting an additional schedule.
I'm hosting, yes.
A round of golf with Rob Romano can
Getting
be
there a
bought at
little
the
early.
auction. I think I'll bid on that one. So, and also one more thing I'd like to point out: the location, the hosting location could not be of higher professionalism and cleanliness is the goal there for everyone's personal safety. All the precautions are in place for this, where we can have a casual and comfortable time that's minimally impacted with safe, the required and very necessary foolproof safety measures that are put in place to keep everybody safe. So it's not only going to be a good time, it's going to be a safe time too, which is very, very important these days.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, well, I think we've covered it here. Brent, you want to do us the honors?
Well, I think we've reached a smooth finish. Vet, thank you so much for joining us and for all that you've done.
Thank you for having me today.
And will continue to do. I know, for the NPC, we appreciate it. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Can't wait to see all of you in a few short weeks.
Yeah, come see me and my mustache at the 33rd annual NPC conference.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
See you in a few weeks.